Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to do a video where I try on some things I bought because I saw recommendations from people that I love, and also things that I have been curious about. There's a few new things in here, and the good news is it's all drugstore, which means it's all affordable, but let's see how it works. So thank you so much for watching today, and thank you for being subscribed. I'm just gonna go straight into this. This is something that I saw in Noel's Emily Awards. It's like one of her favorite, it's her favorite drugstore foundation. It's from Catrice. It's their HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. It says it lasts up to 24 hours, but I don't know that I want to do that. And the shade that I have is shade Light Beige 010. So I hope it's a good match. This was just me guessing. This was the lightest shade they had. I think this is going to work just fine unless it dries down to something significantly drier, but we'll see. Bought a couple of things because Emily Noel was talking about how good they were. I'm so easily influenced by people that I really trust. Emily is one of those. I'm curious, who are the YouTubers, and I guess it doesn't have to be beauty, it could be anybody, that you watch that you are easily influenced by? Somebody does a product review and I'm like, yes, that sounds like a great review. I'm instantly curious. I watch a lot of beauty videos, but I also recently have been watching some cooking videos. I love to cook, and I've been looking for a little bit of new kitchenware, and I've been watching, is it America's Test Kitchen? They do this like really involved testing of kitchenware. It's called Gearheads. And I'm like, ooh, I want one of those. Ooh, I want one of those. Kitchenware is usually just a little bit more expensive than makeup. Well, I guess it depends on the kitchenware and the makeup, but some of the things that have caught my attention are in the several $100 range, and I'm like, it's a lot. Even though I'm getting, oh, there's a cat here. Even though I'm getting really good coverage, it doesn't feel heavy, and it doesn't look like extremely cakey and heavy on my skin. That's good to know. It does a pretty good job of hiding this little hyperpigmentation spot here, and that's without concealer or any corrector. That's just this, and I'm putting on a fairly light layer. I'm not one who really loves like super heavy foundation. I will usually just skip foundation and do like concealer only, but I want to see if there's something really good out there. I had a couple of blemishes crop up last week, and I've been like waiting for them to like not just decrease in redness, but also like decrease in size before I filmed a video. Oh my goodness. And I was like, they're never gonna go away. And I feel like it really did a pretty good job of like not completely getting rid of it, but I feel like right now all I'm seeing is texture. That's pretty good. So for concealer today, I'm using a little bit of the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I don't know if this is gonna be a good match. I'm hoping that it is. I don't have a ton of drugstore. Well, I would say half of my concealers are drugstore, which kind of surprises me because I don't buy a ton of drugstore stuff, but I feel like that might be changing. I've been super impressed with drugstore products I've tried recently. I'm not going to set the whole face yet. I am going to throw on a little bit of the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder just under my eyes, because if I don't set a little something there now, it's going to start to crinkle and crease. I just want to make sure that this concealer stays where I put it. So I picked something up that was new that kind of piqued my interest. I don't know how well it's gonna do, but I wanted to try it. It's from Milani. It's their Supercharged Multi-Stick. This is their cheek and lip stick, and this is the shade Berry Bolt. So it looks like this. It really reminds me of like the NARS Multiple, like from years and years ago. Ooh, look at that. It's really kind of glossy. I wonder how the best way would be to put this on. I'm just gonna throw it a little bit on my lips right now, so I could use a little color. It smells good. Well, that's really pretty. So I think I'm going to pick a little bit of it up on this brush, tap it on the back of my hand to make sure I'm not getting like a really giant, maybe I should do this. Put some here and pick it up with this. And place a little bit of this on. I'm going to take this opportunity to set the rest of my face with this because I do want to use a few powder products on top of this, but I want to see how this works with other things. I'm always a little bit concerned in mixing powders and cream products, but I think if you get all the liquids or creams down first and then powders on top, it can be a little bit easier to do. I hope I just don't lose some of this really pretty plummy vibrancy. I'm gonna throw on a little bronzer. I don't know if you can see it. Does it look a little patchy right here to you? I think I'm gonna try my brows next. I got something new. This is from NYX. This is their Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. And I got this because it instantly reminded me of my favorite Anastasia brow pen. And I would love for there to be like a drugstore version of this. And okay, tweezers, help the girl out. Ooh, very promising. This is the shade Ash Brown. Let's see how it measures up to. It's nearly identical. Oh, this is good. Oh, Anastasia, you're more expensive. I think it all comes down to how it wears. I do feel like my first application with the Anastasia brow pen went just a hair easier, but I'm super impressed. I have to report back to you after a couple weeks, but that new NYX pen, really nice. For eyeshadow today, I'm going to be trying this palette. This is the sleeve for it from BH Cosmetics. This is Beautiful in Barcelona. And the reason I picked up this palette, this is not the exact palette that Emily said was like amazing, but she said that BH Cosmetics has really great eyeshadows. I've heard that from a ton of people, from Art Beauty Christie. I've heard it from Angelica Nyquist. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, but a lot of people have just been saying that BH Cosmetics is just mwah. So I decided to pick this guy up. Let me see if I can pull it back. I feel like I'm breaking it. And it looks like this. Now, I normally don't go for blues, but I loved kind of more the cool taupey tones in here. And you do have a few warm spots. So like, you've got this, you've got some warmth over in here. So it's not going to be completely outside of my comfort zone, but I'm excited to see what we get from this. I'm going to start with this shade right here that's called Dulce. And I'm going to start with that in my crease. I'm just going to take kind of a fluffy brush and just plop it right in there. This looks just a little bit, I thought it was going to be straight up brown, but it has almost like a burgundy vibe to it. I'm going to hit this lightest shade here called La Rambla. I think, if I remember correctly, having been in Barcelona a couple of times, that's how people in Spain say it. I think it's Las Ramblas. I'm going to go into Spain. It's kind of more of a burgundy. And I'm just gonna hit this right here on the outside corner. I'm curious about this shade right here. This is called Enchanting. What happens if I just kind of tap it on the first part of the lid here? This eye look is coming together super fast. I'm gonna go back into that first shade called Dulce and just run a little bit of this right on the lower part of my lash line. I feel like it might be fun to incorporate one of these blues. I'm kind of going, do I want Picasso or do I want Mediterranean? This is Picasso, this is Mediterranean. Maybe Picasso, the darker of the blues. Let's do a little bit of that. So I'm just going to use kind of like a little tiny detail brush here. And I'm kind of wondering, do I want above or below the lash line? Let's do a little bit above. I don't know if this is like a good idea or not, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to be using this. This is the Milani waterproof matte eyeliner. So I was watching the Emily Awards. I've already mentioned this, and Emily turned me on to the Catrice foundation, and she talked about how good the BH Cosmetics, I think the Naughty palette was, and she talked about this not smudging or going anywhere and surviving labor. And I was like, really? So I have a perpetually leaky left eye, and I always end up with stuff trailing down here. And I quit wearing eyeliner probably like 5 or 6 years ago, like late 30s, early 40s, just because every time I put something on, like my upper lash line, when it ended right here, it would start to kind of collect, and then I would be crying whatever color my eyeliner was. And if it's black, I'm crying sad little panda tears, and that is not what I wanted. But this isn't supposed to go anywhere. I don't know, but then here's also where I tell you, because normally if I wear eyeliner, I'm wearing it like in my waterline. I haven't lined my upper lash line like on the regular, and I haven't used a liquid liner in years. So this could be bad, but let's just try it. It's a little felt tip. I'm curious. We'll see. It kind of reminds me of the art liner from Lancome. Oh, it's really quite flexible, this little felt tip. I like this. So the next thing I'm going to throw on is this. This is the Voluminous Primer Base from L'Oreal. I have been a huge devotee of the Lancome Seals Booster, and recently discovered that last time I thought I was buying just the regular one, I got the XL. And then I mentioned how much I liked it, and somebody, and I totally forgot who, and I've been looking through the comments and I can't find it anymore, told me they love the L'Oreal primer. So I'm hoping it was this one, because there was like the Lash Paradise primer, and I was like, I'm just gonna start with the Voluminous and we'll go from there. But a less expensive lash primer, hello, because the one I've been using is in the mid-20s range, and it's expensive. One thing I don't have is a drugstore mascara, so I'm just going to use my favorite, which is the Lancome Monsieur Big. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, order the travel size / sample size of the new Lancome Idol. Oh, I hope it's good, but it's not here yet. I'm pretty impressed with this primer. Wow. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to try it like the Lancome on one side, the L'Oreal on the other. The one thing I will say is that L'Oreal is the parent company for Lancome, so it's not always going to be the same formulation, but I think there's a lot of similar thought. And sometimes I have wondered if like old Lancome formulations get turned into new L'Oreal products when they discontinue it from the high, and do they like let it trickle down? I don't know. I've always wondered about that. If you have any insider knowledge, I would love to know. I was thinking I would use this for lips and cheeks, so let's throw a little bit more of this on. So out of everything, I feel like this did really good. I like the eye look. I feel like it blended super easily. I also, where is it? Oh, this. Hello. What is this? This is the Lift and Snatch brow pen from NYX. That was really good. Ooh, I liked this a lot. The foundation, oh my goodness, this is really good. I feel like it for being a full coverage liquid, you know, mattifying second skin effect, it does really look like skin when it's powdered and when it's not powdered. I really feel like it looks more like my skin than a lot of other products that I have. My question is, how does it wear, and will it start to break down like corners of my nose and other places? But right now I'm really impressed with the look of it. I feel like this went on pretty well. I'm curious to see how it lasts and whether my weepy left eye is going to be like, you can't stand up to me. I've got more power than you. This is the only thing that kind of really let me down. I feel like when I put it on, I ended up getting a little bit of patchiness, like right in this area. And it could be because this has squalane and other hydrating oils in it. You can see how glossy it is on the lips. I've already seen, when I take a minute to look up close, that it needs a lip liner because it's starting to like kind of feather out of my lip line, and I am not okay with that. That is not the sort of thing that I like. I do think it's a really pretty color. I keep like putting it on and blending it here, but I feel like this may not be one of those things because it can blend to nearly nothing. I don't know that this is gonna last a terribly long time. I don't know. Supercharged, is it really supercharged? Is it supercharged because of the oils and the squalane? I don't know what makes this supercharged. It looked interesting. I was curious. This may not stick around in my collection. I don't know yet, but I feel like everything else did really well. I would love to know if there's anything you have been intrigued to try because somebody else mentioned it. Thank you, Emily Noel. I think I picked up 3 things on her recommendation in this video alone. That's a lot. But I would love to know if there is somebody that you love to watch that kind of mentioned something and you go like, oh yeah, I want to try that. Or whether there's something that you have tried that you think is really great that you think I should try. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for being subscribed. If you aren't, would you please? I will see you again soon. Bye.